What's up? Hey, the video's here. Mostly on time. This is still November, but just wanted to go let you know real quick. This is one of the two promised videos for this year. After this, you'll get a December video, and then the schedule after that is going to be a little bit unsure, but hopefully we can or I can provide you with more content throughout the year. It might be still on a monthly basis until I kind of get a cadence, kind of get a rhythm down, and kind of figure this out. Editing, not so great. But regardless, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you come back, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving or whatever holiday, and I hope you have a great December holiday. Merry Christmas to those who observe. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and I'm sorry for any of those that I missed. I just what I was going to say that anyway. Have a great day. Bye. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back for the promised Black Panther 2. Kind of not deep dive or anything like that, but just kind of thoughts on the movie. So hopefully this won't be too long and too arduous. This will get copyright striked, I'm sure, because I have no idea how that works quite yet, but we'll get there. But starting off, right? This first scene, I'll just say before I say anything else, gorgeous. Like, I love how they cut out all the music. There was nothing else going on. They just were like, hey, this is about Chadwick. At least, the opening credits, because the show must go on, unfortunately. But RIP, my man. Thank you very much for what you provided to our community and just to the MCU altogether. But let's go forward a little bit. So, a couple of not ground rules, but just things that'll probably happen. There will probably be a few jump cuts in this video because this is my first time recording something more, a little bit more structured, a little bit more jump around to do some clips I wanted to see. So first of all, not first of all, we've passed that part. Next, I would like to say, I know I repeated it in the video where I said I was going to discuss this, but as a reminder, this is not me saying this was a bad movie. This is not me saying that I would have done so much better. This is not me saying that, this part was necessarily bad. My, I guess, thoughts and opinions are more that of, hey, for me, this is would have worked better in this instance. So, cause yeah, my man did an excellent job on this. Fucking yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I'm not trying to say that I am somehow better than this fucking Chad lad. Thank you, Ryan. But let's get on to it, right? So, a couple points I wanted to go over in this movie that bothered me. I got some notes, so excuse me for looking down. One of the points was Shuri and her mom. The scene there, I think, could have been done better. For my viewing pleasure, again, trying to catch myself. Another one is Shuri and Killmonger, and the scene that and where spoilers in case you haven't caught on by now, but the scene in which that she sees him in her spiritual realm when she finally I guess synthesizes the heart shaped herb. Next up, uh Shuri and Namor scene at the end. I'm not really going to show a clip of that, but that is in there because that part did bother me just a little bit. And just kind of the overall flow of where Shuri, I guess, the best way to put it, and my biggest gripe, and probably only gripe, but it might be big to some people, is the overextending arc of that she went through, and I felt it could have been different and would have said more. Whereas this one, it felt just, you know what I mean? So that's just for me again. Uh, the last one was Shuri and Jabari. I won't show the full clip, but I will just show kind of the entrance of that one because I felt where that was another point where she could have the overarching theme to this is character growth. Sorry. Where she could have done better as far as just how she handled things. I know every human is not going to handle it the same way. I know I can't expect one person and another, but loss, right? She's gone through so much loss that she was just wanted to burn the world down at some point. Fair, honestly fair. But I felt that if they wanted to show how she had grown or how, her whole, technology, and not necessarily technology. I think I'm reaching on that one. It's just more so a mesh of, the present and future, or past and future, kind of that, because she is the present, right? So past and future. Her suit, for instance, could have been the prime example of showing that, where she looked at a suit. It's cliche, but she looked at a suit that was more so her brother's, and then more so Killmonger's. And it's kind of what she did, but she just decided to mesh the two. So, anyway, let's get into it. So, I'm not going to show this whole scene, but we will immediately jump to the first scene that I wanted to show, the 25 minutes. So, we're jumping into this first scene here right around 25 minutes, maybe a little bit after, but it just shows, yeah, it just shows just that. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna just get it started because I literally space for brain fart. Anyway, it just shows Shuri and her mom getting into it. So let's go.
He's pushing me gently but firm, like his hand.
In here, I think she's not think. Oh, this is where she's essentially talking about T'Challa and how she eventually got to see him in that spirit realm, and how Shuri's not there yet, and Shuri being a technological person, she's not as much into that, right? She's not. But yeah, it's still all about science. There are space people. There is a mind stone. There is a soul stone. But for some reason, knowing all of this, she still doesn't believe in just the spiritual nature of her tribe or of her people.
When you think of your brother,
yeah.
Does it offer you comfort?
So this scene right here is my first gripe, right? Because later on we find out that we don't quite know, but I felt that this would have been the perfect spot to show flashes, like literal, not even full photos, but just a flash or just like over the shoulder shot of Killmonger and Shuri meeting previously, right? Not in the ancestral plane as much, like that we'll see later when she takes the herb, but more so in the sense of when she's just like trying to resolve things with her brother, or just seeing him in her mind, like, I guess undrugged, so to speak, Shuri, heart-shaped herb Shuri. And to me it would have been perfect, because it's like, hey, let's show literally Killmonger already being a part of her thoughts, because not because she, misses him or, reminisces with him, but just that's her state of being right now. That's her feeling. She's like, fuck it. This is what people have done to my people over and over. They're still trying to take our technology. And Killmonger is just that person who constantly feels her thoughts, because part of her thinks Killmonger was right. You know what I mean? Part of her thinks if Killmonger had his way, my brother would, one, might still be alive. That's debatable because of the whole virus or the illness thing. But two, it's just, yeah, she wouldn't be having this fight with, again, she hasn't gone into that. She hasn't experienced a fight yet, but she wouldn't be going through as much hardship, basically. Maybe Killmonger would have been able to save her too. Who knows? Or save her brother. But this is the first part to me where he could have made an appearance. It could have been him just flashing in her memories, flashing in visions, flashing in her dreams. And she didn't quite know either, though, where it kind of opens up to the point where it's like, oh, cool. Like, her subconscious is Killmonger, or just his ideology, right? That's where I came from with it. So that was my first point on that. So let's see. To further emphasize, we'll go to the point where we'll watch this a little bit more, but then we will go to the point where Shuri and Killmonger actually meet, and she's essentially surprised by it. And then, he's like, he kind of hits her with the, I've been the person in your thoughts this whole time, or something, some slick shit where it's been him in the back there and she's known it, but she suppressed it. So that's where I'm going with that. So let's watch a little bit more of this. Disney, please, please, please. I don't know how this works. I know maybe this is too much, but I'm trying here. So let's go.
Oh, torment.
So let's. I'm not re-recording this, but I'll get rid of the subtitles the next time you see us. Because yeah, I know some people don't like subtitles. I love subtitles. This shit's so good. I do enjoy this kind of peaceful moment with those two, because it is just, you know, her mom coming out here to do the ritual, and Shuri's essentially like, nah, this is not what I came out here for. But it's obviously it's not the first time she's done this, because her father passed recently, so she should know this. So I don't quite understand. That's what I didn't quite understand, why she had that.
And think about my brother for too long.
Here we go.
It won't be
It's like
close. I'll burn.
She wants to burn the fucking world.
To be the world.
Rightfully so. Like,
Everyone
fuck the world.
in it.
I didn't do shit. All right, chill with that. I have nothing to do with that. The world, everything around it, baby.
Something that I need to tell you.
We all know what this alludes to later. And there's that part. Cool. All right, so we're gonna jump into the next part here. All right. Which part did I say specifically? Oh, yeah, fucking Killmonger. So let's do that. Next slide. All right, we have arrived, and I figured I'm actually gonna leave the subtitles on, mostly because while I'm talking, I want people to see, just in case you haven't seen it or in case you need a refresher, what's going on. But here, again, that's that same mentality or that same thought process I'm having, where it should have been, you know, her essentially, she's surprised and everything, but her just being like, no, and him being like, yeah, you know, those flashes were never your brother. You know, those pieces that you were essentially putting together over all this time, this year or whatever, was never your brother. It was always me. And it's somewhat in there, but it's just not, for me, it's not as visceral. So, again, let's watch a little bit of it. We're going to talk through it a little bit, but that's just where I'm coming from. Let's go. So, appreciated still wearing this essential, like, garb that she would have at the funeral. And that's why I was like, cool. No. This kind of would have tied the funeral, essentially, and the ingesting of the herb together. I'm going out of order for some of these, so forgive me, but this part. No. Come on, we all know this part, right? Like, we know what's going on. It's our man. It's our man's.
Chidaka.
Little cousin.
How?
How? It's never as important as why, right?
Exactly.
You chose me.
Impossible.
Exactly.
I'll never choose you.
Why did you take the herb?
To see my family.
No.
And to start off, that's exactly what I meant. Like she said, I would never choose you. No, you did, because you, after all of this shit that's going on, especially what's going on with Neighbor now, you're like, I wish we had the fucking gall or just the chutzpah, whatever you want to call it, to do what he did and just did it for the good of our people, right? Because I guess technically Namor wouldn't be their people. You know, it's not the black people. It's not the Wakandan people from Africa. They are, but they're not. And you know what I mean by that. It's essentially Namor's people essentially left all these people behind. They're no longer part of all this. So yeah, anyway, let's keep going. But yep, that's bullshit. The line's right there next. Sorry, let's go.
No, that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't believe the ancestral plane was real, did you?
Exactly. Never. And that's what's like, it didn't make sense for her not to. There's literally a fucking soul stone.
You don't have to lie to me.
I know there are plot holes in every movie, but for me, this one was one that just bothered me in the back of my head, because it's like,
see,
a man wiped out half of the universe, right? There were stones that you were chasing at one point.
I took it to avenge my ancestors too.
I'm nothing like you.
Mm-hmm.
You took it for yourself, then destroyed the rest.
That part was fucked up.
Unworthy king, afraid of being replaced. Just a coward.
No. I had the courage to do what was necessary to change Wakanda.
How many people like your scientists did Wakanda protect before I took the throne? Cowards. That was the Panthers that came before me.
And
before T'Challa.
yeah.
Don't mention my brother. You're the
So, and before T'Challa, right? That's just... it's so interesting, right? Because Killmonger, to me, was a good villain because of what he was fighting for. And I know a lot of villains fight for equality in their race, or just like, what is it, the Flag Smashers kind of in the series. Don't bother, I didn't. Like, I finished it, but you know what I mean? Like, I haven't continued past that. Anyway, it's just one of those things, literally, where the fight for something bigger than you is always going to be a great kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of motivation, just rather than world domination. And that's why I appreciated him and the kind of lengths that he was willing to go. His end game might have been a bit fucked up, but anyway, let's keep going.
reason why he's dead. You burnt the herb, left us with no protector. Then
False.
struck and killed my mother. Their blood is on your hands.
No, that ain't on me. And don't you dare take that away from your mother. She sacrificed her life to protect a young girl from the lost tribe.
Yep.
Your father? He was a hypocrite.
A little bit.
He killed that girl.
He probably would have, like, yeah, because he did his brother, yeah.
T'Challa was too noble.
Mm-hmm.
He let the man who murdered your father live.
That was just trying to overcome hate. But she wants to be like him. Like right now, she wants.
Noble like your brother?
No.
Or take care of business. Like me.
Alright. So I guess there's not much to add to that besides what I was already saying, and the fact that if there were like flashes throughout the movie of this internal conflict, I felt it could have landed better with essentially the final moment where she decides what she's gonna do. And then the third act could have happened, but maybe under different circumstances, not just her, you know, possibly risking the life of everyone in her, you know, tribe for blood. It's like, hey, I've learned from the I've learned from the past, you know, I've learned from Killmonger's hate. I've learned from T'Challa's I guess just kind of too much honor and ability, whatever you want to call it. There's a better word for it, and I should have wrote it down, but you know, we're freestyling this, so I apologize. But yeah. But with that said, that is my biggest issue with that, is that could have been the culmination of just all of the scenes we saw throughout the movie, and just this kind of big where, man, you know, on some points my brother was right, just like, because T'Challa kind of did that, right, where he was, hey, you left our people out there, but hey, on some points my brother was right on not handling like Killmonger, but Killmonger also had the strength, or you know, just the resolution to do what was right. And while T'Challa tried to start something like that, finally just being like, boom, you know what I mean? Like just being the person who does that. And I don't know if that's killing Namor in the end. I don't think it is, because then you don't get the tie-ins later on. Yeah, I know what you're doing. But just something a bit more than pure rage at this point. Like, you've lost to this man so many times. He's taken so much from you. And like, why let him take more? Why not just be kind of that guiding light, bigger person for your people? All right, we are going to go to the next one. So the next one will be, I think it's going to be Shuri and M'Baku. And that's their discussion after. We're going to show the scene when she comes down, because that shit's tight. But we're going to show a little bit of the discussion after and see why it just could have been more. Anyway, let's go. All right, we're here. And I did forget, like, she does kind of have the fusion of the two mentalities, but only in armor's sake and namesake alone. And that being the armor being, you know, something T'Challa would wear, and something, you know, I keep forgetting this fucking name, a Killmonger would wear. So let's go. Let's continue. Let's watch this. and then just kind of fucking enjoy what we're about to see, because the shit's, you know, it's like, just let's be honest, right? The whole fucking her coming in and just being like the music, like boom, and then fucking hand the like, yeah, it's just like how strong she is. Here we go. Yep. Sorry. That shit to me is what hit, right? So here we go. Hey. I wonder how much that could take, because man, fucking broken legs would hurt. That's what's up. Like, that suit is fire. He knows, M'Baku knows what's up. He's like, all right, motherfucker, test time. Let's go. Square up. Ooh. Look at that face. Right? You're like, this is some bullshit. I love M'Baku so much. All right. He's like, all right, you gonna do something, just my people's here. I ain't gonna let you just fucking throw me into the wall. Let's go. Hey, let's go. All right, that's it for that part. But, and then I'm gonna briefly show, because I had a bit more here, but what we're gonna do is show the discussion between her and M'Baku, and just see, you know, I guess not what to replace, maybe a little bit later, but just talk about it a little bit. So let's go. All right. So this part we know is just her. Again, there is no amount of talking that I can be like, your mother was murdered, right? Your father was murdered. Your brother died because of another murderer. I can't be like, hey, she should get over it. But if you wanted to make this character just like that much better, like, not got to her because she's been pissed through all of it, she's been angry, or just give her a scene where she's angry before she finishes, you know, the heart-shaped herb and meets with God damn it. Meets with Killmonger. Then you can kind of have that, a little bit of growth, a little bit of realization, or just meet with M'Baku again before she finishes the herb, and him, like, you know, some kind of words of encouragement that gets her to finish it, and then that's when she comes in here. So let's go. Let's keep going.
Nemo believes Wakanda's on her knees.
I mean, he kicked y'all asses like
Our queen
twice.
Murdered.
Well,
our
yes.
capital destroyed. He believes we have no protector. But now is our time to strike.
Yeah, see,
when we don't even know how to
she's
find him.
just about violence.
Bring Nemo to us.
Here again?
No, a distant location at sea.
All right. Let's say this does work.
Yep. Words of reason now, and she's just
Assuming we
like
can't
gonna
kill this
ignore
man,
it. She's just like,
fly,
nah,
potentially
hate.
as strong as the Hulk.
Nah, you're not that
Murdering
strong.
him the right solution.
You were calling for his head when his only crime was intimidation.
What has changed, Lord M'Baku?
His soldiers did not call him general or king. They called him Kukul Khan,
What is that?
the feather serpent god. What? Do you think because we are living in the mountains, we do not have access to books?
Elders, with your permission, I would like to talk
Yeah.
with Lord M'Baku alone.
All right, we're gonna watch. This could be better. Like, the way I present this could be better,
Nemo's
but
not finished.
of course it's
Promised
not.
to destroy the surface world.
Yes.
Now is our opportunity to take him. What are you
So
afraid of?
why not go to
If Nemo
the
is
Avengers or
indeed
people
a
you
god
know?
to his
Like,
people,
I can't remember what
killing
happened
him
in the
will risk
timeline at this
eternal
point.
War.
And so what?
So, but
Does life
it
not
doesn't.
worth eternal war?
Of course it was.
All right, so what we're gonna do?
Of course she was.
I'm gonna just turn that shit all the way down.
It is not what she would have wanted.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of this could have been done before she got the herb where she was saying, hey, let's go to war. And he's like, hey, we don't have the power. And even if we did, this is not what your mom would want for you. Here's the thing. Putting on that suit was supposed to mean something more. Putting on that suit that matches both, forgiveness and just fucking savagery or rage or hate, whatever you want to call it, from T'Challa and fucking Killmonger, that was supposed to mean something more. Not like at the end of the movie where she finally decides, and maybe you could have had at the end of the movie where, he was trying to, he was trying to submit and yield or whatever, and she was like, no, to kill him. And that's when she finally saw her brother or her mother. I know you can't do Chadwick, unfortunately, in this case, but I felt that would have been better. Like either her mother, like she did still, or her father, or just like a fucking stock image of her brother, just like looking down on her. And that's all that she needed because she knew what he was about and she knew what he was fighting for towards the end. But instead, she fucking strong arms my man M'Baku into essentially going to war, which is just like, I was like, I personally don't like it. Yeah, this is movies. I mean, this is what we do. Like, we go in there. I think the vast majority of a movie most people will enjoy, but there will always be parts where people will have their own take, and that's all I'm providing here. I mean, I think the only part, because like I said, I had some notes, but I think the only part that I was gonna bring up was Soldier. Let's see. We had Killmonger. We did that one. Yeah, that was kind of it. I was gonna bring Shuri and Namor scene at the end. I'm not gonna bring that one up. I don't think we need to, because that one is essentially, like I said, just before she finally actually delivers a final blow, similar to she did now. She receives that same image or just flashes of a smile of all her people, and just realizing that this is never what they would have wanted for her, and this is not who she is. Those are my main takeaways from the movie. Riri Williams, I understand why she was in there the way she was. The MCU is at a point now where I don't think, and maybe they have, because again, okay, so aside from the TV shows, I don't think they're at a point where they're going to introduce new people in movies nearly as much or at all as they did previously. Like they're in a, they have built, they got their foundation, they had everything, and now it's a continuation. So for them, it's like, hey, how do we introduce new characters that people will love, which a lot of people did not love Riri Williams in this, which is unfortunate, but how do we continue to introduce new characters without sinking money into without sinking money into these big productions that are $400-500 million. And I'm not sure what the box office or the budget was on Wakanda Forever, but I'm trying to think if I had any more takes concerning this movie specifically and how it was approached. I love the beginning where the queen fucking comes in and tells them like, hey, not today, Satan. Like where she was like, we've lost our protector and y'all still trying this bullshit. So hopefully we still get that energy in the next one. I mean, I know, of course, she's not there, but just whoever takes up the mantle or takes up the position. Again, going back to Riri, I enjoyed her introduction. I do think it was a bit too, I mean, it's been said. It was a bit too bantery, too jovial, whatever you want to call it. She knows kind of everyone of her age or everyone on this planet knows what happened. They know about the blip. They know about all this stuff. So why be all jokey? Like maybe that's how some people react with someone who's telling you essentially like, hey, there's someone literally, we got to get you out of here, right? Why would the fucking princess and fucking god warrior come just to pick you up and you be like, nah, I'm good by myself because I have an Iron Man suit? Iron Man had several Iron Man suits. Did not stop him from taking, well, it's not an L, taking the fattest W in the fucking history of the MCU. In the end, it didn't start him taking that little L next to it. So, you know what I mean. Little L, why? Because his daughter and his wife are still alive, and so are all his friends. So he knows there's an afterlife, so to speak. Well, yeah, there's an afterlife, so to speak. So it's a little L. He just don't got his money anymore. Chilling up there with Big Man. I think that's gonna be it for now. I was trying to think of another scene, and further off of me, like I said, I wrote it down, but my notes suck. So it is what it is there. No, I appreciate anybody who's kind of stayed, watched a couple minutes of the movie with me. Disney, please just leave me alone. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm trying, but this has been fun. Hopefully I figure out a more structured way or have better notes next time. But that's your video. That's my discussion. Or sorry, that's my take. And let's have a discussion down in the comments. If you agree, if you disagree, if you yourself had a point where you thought it could have been, I guess, better shown or just better thought out, let me know down in the comments or, whatever. I just kind of, these discussions are fun. They really are. Because in this instance, I can have a strong feeling about something, but so can you. And I don't think either one of us are going to be correct, aside from me. But no, in serious, I don't think either one of us are going to be correct because it's just what we would have enjoyed. What we saw it could have been a quote-unquote improvement because, again, yada, yada, yada. I'm out this bitch. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next time in December, hopefully. Yeah, December. Peace.